Hello everyone, what is up? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be talking about what's happening with XRP in the community. So we could already see XRP is at 21 cents. Isn't that crazy? It went all the way to 22 cents and it was at like 19 cents yesterday. I don't know if people are saying we're going to go back to 15 cents or whatever, but I don't think we are, because when, the majority of people says it, we do the opposite. So look, we didn't go to 15 cents, but who still knows? But tweet out all-time weekly frame and no more room left anymore. Not even a week, just 3 days to be exact. Hey, just saying, that's all. Look at these triangles, will it collapse? Now, if we look at here, we should see an explosion very soon, guys, very soon. And it should be huge. Just look at these. Look at that. Hopefully we do see an explosion in the either this month or next, but let's jump onto the news. Now, the Bearable Bull tweeted out, Fed has tools to fight the next recession. Mike tweeted out, Ben Bernanke spoke at Swell 20 in 2017. This has to be XRP. Now we can see here, Fed has the tools to fight the next recession. Why would they say they have the tools to fight the next recession? You know, that only makes sense if the liquidity problem is solved. You can see here from Peter Pumpkin, he tweeted out, off on XRapid. So that's a cool tweet I found. So XRapid, guys, liquidity problem, all this is connecting. Really, everything's connecting. Roses on the Moon tweeted out, Brad Garlinghouse is not only bullish on XRP, he's bullish on the entire crypto space. You should be too soon, Moon. Now let's watch this video.
Unique things about the position Ripple is in is the fact that we can invest in the XRP ecosystem. And frankly, we will invest in the whole ecosystem, the blockchain ecosystem. I agree with some of the things said on one of the panels yesterday that said that we are in the earliest stages of a transformative change in how transactions are managed. I want to see the whole category grow. Right. I don't view a lot of these companies as competitors because it's so early that look, we're trying to solve a payments problem, and there's people working on securities and identity and lending, and I love it. I want all boats to rise, and I think that's a good thing. But for us, we're going to invest in the XRP ecosystem. We're investing in the broader ecosystem. We certainly want to see XRP become even more liquid, and I think as we drive adoption, that will happen. You know, this isn't one of the questions, but I want to proactively comment on something. One of the things I say inside the company is I'm not focused on the price of XRP over 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months. I'm focused on the price of XRP over 3 years and 5 years. I have no qualms saying definitively, if we continue to drive the success we're driving, we're going to drive a massive amount of demand for XRP because we're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem. These payment flows are obviously very, very large. And to the extent we continue to drive success of signing up more banks, introducing them to how we can solve not just a connectivity question with XCurrent, but a liquidity problem, a multi-trillion-dollar problem around liquidity called XRapid, I'm very confident about that longer arc of time.
He just stated it right there, guys. Multi-trillion-dollar problem, as when this does happen, it's going to be so huge. It's going to be a demand for XRP. He just stated it right there. Jack the Rippler tweeted out, boom, South Korean telecoms giant SK is set to debut a new blockchain-powered donations platform it has developed using Ripple technology. We could see here. We're going to see more of these news coming to play, because we're getting there, guys. We're almost there. We're almost at the finishing line. What we have is from XRP 2020. CNBC Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse explains how XRP will transform banking. Let's watch this video.
If Morgan wanted to send $10,000 to London right now, the fastest way for her to do that is to drive to Newark or JFK and fly it there. Our view is, in a world of the internet, you can stream video from the space station. You should be able to do real-time settlement between banks, and we sell technology to banks to do that.
And the banks are getting on board with this because I know there's a lot of paper pushing and also a lot of money attached to those settlements.
For sure. So we have over 100 banks working with Ripple today around the world. I think the vast majority of banks, like 99.9% of banks, actually are paying other banks, the global money center banks like JP Morgan or Citibank, to make those settlements. So a lot of the banks are very excited about democratizing how these global payments flow.
There's a belief that, you could transform the global payment system over time. Although then the alternative argument is you need a centralized, you can't have it decentralized, that it actually benefits from efficiencies. I would assume you come down in the latter.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think anytime you can do something without that central counterparty, you're going to reduce friction, which is measured by time, cost, speed. So by removing that central counterparty and going direct from point to point, you can skip going from the Bank of David to the Bank of Morgan to the Bank of Mike. You just go directly to the Bank of Mike.
So if the immediate opportunity is efficiencies in this area of the actual kind of nuts and bolts sort of plumbing of the financial system, how does that relate to the value of the Ripple tokens or of the Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies? They're taking on a separate life, it seems, from the future of adoption of this technology.
It's a great point, and I think one of the things we all have to remember is that the value of a token over the long term is really going to be derived by its utility. What problem is it solving? How big is that problem? How many customers do you have? There's no question there's a lot of hype in this system, and I don't actually think that's a good thing. For Ripple, we use this digital asset called XRP to settle liquidity needs between banks. So today there's $27 trillion parked at different banks around the world so they can make payments between each other. Our view is you can use a digital asset like XRP to do that in real time. Because XRP has been so efficient, it settles a transaction about 3 seconds compared to Bitcoin.
So it just passes through that currency for that period of time.
That's correct.
Wow, that's very interesting to hear, guys. We just said that, you know, there was a lot of hype around it back in 2017. I'm pretty sure that was back then. But we could see here it's still solving the same, you know, problems, but XRP only at 21 cents. Isn't that quite interesting? John Wick tweeted out January 31st titled, "Is Cash Still King?" reviewing the rise of mobile payments. Now this is quite interesting. January 31st, the Task Force on Financial Technology will consume for a boarding entitled, "Is Cash Still King?" So that's quite, you know, is cash still king? You know, we're going to see gold coming into play as well. We're going to see gold, you know, cryptocurrencies such as XRP. You know, it's going to be huge, guys. In my opinion, it's going to be huge. HODLstyle tweeted out, Ripple CTO compares XRP to an iPhone. David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple, draws parallels between an iPhone and XRP to explain why he doesn't care who makes money. See, Apple is one of the biggest, you know, companies out there, $1 trillion, but he's comparing XRP to the same. So we could see this. It's going to be revolutionary, you know. It's going to be huge. Apple moving money very fast and seamlessly. That's quite interesting. Next who we have is from T-. XRP Now We Are Talking. So this is quite interesting. We could see here lots of XRP going to different places. Ripple tweeted out, Iranian tensions may be the perfect excuse for a liquidity crisis and for financial instability. Bloomberg tweeted out, U.S. stock index futures fell in Asia after last week's, you know. So Bourne replied, and again, Iran could bring an overnight economic depression in retaliation to U.S. You know, overnight economic depression. Now this is quite interesting because later on we're gonna see what's actually happening, and you know the blackout. Oh man, it should seem real. Coining tweeted out, found this today. There was a transition today of 68k yen for one XRP test glitch. I found the digital gate Ripple wallet address with the help of Google. Once I found the wallet, I searched for the transaction, so we could see here 68,000, you know, yen, JPY. It's guys, it's already here. We shouldn't XRP. The price shouldn't be at this price. It should be over like minimum $100, in my opinion. It's quite, you know, this is fascinating to see this. So guys, now we're on to the fun part of XRP and the XRP community. I'm obviously not a financial advisor. You guys should do your own research, you know, on any topic. But this is quite interesting. Fame21 more tweeted out, you know, this. Let's watch this video.
We certainly want to see banks succeed in this new world order.
They certainly want to see banks succeed in the new world order. Now, in the replies, XRP Brainstorm tweeted out, to destroy the central banks and replace the current financial system, first you have to win their trust and infiltrate. You will see very soon the result. So you see, without cooperation, the alternative is a wrecked world economy. We could see here, it's crazy to think about these things. So you have to, you know, you have to help the banks, work with them, and then infiltrate. So it's quite interesting to see. Reborn tweeted out, the BRICS system was designed with the purpose of moving away from the stronghold the US has on trade. the China-US trade deal would have been negotiating exactly this. Phase 1 signed on 14 Jan. Coincidence? The USD is on its last legs. The shift is imminent. Now we could see here the rise and fall of the US dollar, Phoenix, the theory. Gold is back with his new friend, the standard of the new economy. He once again tweeted out, the US and Iran are currently at war with each other. 3rd December, air raid rehearsal. 3rd January, play goes live. Exactly 1 month. EMP, all systems off. All depth white, switch to QFS, quantum financial system, gold-based XRP, trusted liquidity. 30th, announcement, everyone smiling. Wow, look at that. That was Q, boom, boom, boom. A week to remember. Dark to light. So look at that. Everything's going into plan, guys. Everything's going to plan. This is so interesting, guys. It's crazy to think what the world we live in. Everything is planned ahead of times. So fascinating to think about this. So Reborn tweets out once more, can you see what's happening? Are you enjoying the show? Psst, boom, double meaning. Look at this inside the ring. EMP attack. It's so insane. And then we can see that from Mr. Pool video. So now Mr. Pool tweeted this. So that was from Mr. Pool. Now everything's going to plan. It's so insane to think about it. Crypto Mike tweeted out, here we go, the excuse for the upcoming blackout. Isn't that interesting? Iran has proved capable of cyber attacks that could target internet infrastructure, online banks, or even the US power grid. It's so oh my gosh, it's so funny to see. It's like a theater all along. It's like a movie we're watching. Oh my gosh, it's right there, guys. It's right there. Now, Baba Yaga comes back, with a couple tweets. Number 1, the world's largest oil reserves. Venezuela, the world's largest gold reserves. China, the world's largest gold reserves by democracy. Australia, think more, talk less. You can see here, bushfires versus gold reserves. Same, almost exactly. And then the last tweet we have for today's video is if you look for comfort, you'll never find the truth. Everything's coming into play, guys. We see what's going to happen in the upcoming weeks, and everything will surely come into like a movie, or we're already in a movie. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. I'll see you guys in my next video. See you guys. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. See ya.